welcome to another Green Marble Crochet tutorial. For this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to make this really easy little summer bikini top, summer bikini beach top. Really quick, really simple to make. So I've made this to go beneath the dress that I'll be posting the tutorial for next week. So that's the dress that's based off the previous design that we just did, which was that little top with the straps. So I've just added a skirt to that, but I've actually made it in a different yarn because the place where I go to get the yarn didn't have the same yarn that I used to make the top in the previous tutorial. So, but that's okay. Looks good the way it is. And so yes, I've made this to go beneath that. And you'll see next week how that has all come together and what that's going to look like. So that's good. There's not really a lot more that I need to say about this right now. Really basic, really simple. Super quick to make, which is good. Alright, so if you haven't subscribed, but you would like to subscribe to join me for some more tutorials, I would love to have you join me. Big thank you to my patrons. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching my videos. If you need help with anything very quickly, just look for me on Instagram. I'm _green_marble. So I'll be there. I'm usually there. You can find me there pretty quickly and I'll be able to help you. Just because I don't always get notified of things on YouTube. For some reason I don't see all the comments all the time. So it's a little bit frustrating, but it's okay. And on Instagram I can just help you right away. And, you know, to the best of my abilities. Definitely. Alright, so we should probably just get straight into making this. Yeah. Alright, so to begin, we're going to have a quick look at the tiny details on the label of the yarn that we're using. So this is just some stuff that I had lying around from last summer, so I thought now's a good time to use it. So yes, if you need more time to have a look, just pause the video. So that's what we're working with. And here are the tiny relevant details. So it's saying I should use a 4 or 5mm hook, but I'm not going to because I'm going to be using my 3mm hook. I don't want there to be like gaps between the stitches too much because it is going to be a little sort of bikini top bra type thing that I'll be wearing beneath the dress. So that's what we're doing. So yes, I'm already making up a cup, but we're going to start making the second one because that's the one that's going to, yeah, I mean, as I go, I'll sort of make them both at the same time. But yeah, we're just going to start making the second one. So there is actually no reason for me to do that. I'm just, you know, just wanted to get this done. All right, so here we are. What we're going to do is I'm going to find the end of our yarn. Find the end of our yarn like this. Focus the camera. And we're going to make a slip knot. So to make a slip knot, you take the end of the yarn between the thumb and the index finger. Thumb and the index finger of your right hand. Then with the left hand, you take the index finger and the middle finger and you wind the yarn around like this. Grab, pull through. So you actually don't have to make the tail of that slip knot too long, just because you can crochet it in as you go along at the beginning. So there's my slip knot. We're going to adjust that knot to our hook. Now what you want to do for this cup is you want to chain a length that runs from the midsection of the breast to sitting just beneath. So for me, that's going to be 13 chains. So to make a chain stitch, it is yarn over, pull through the loop, so that's 1 chain. Yarn over, pull through the loop, that's 2 chains. Yarn over, pull through the loop, so that's 3 chains. So I'm going to chain 13, we'll meet back up and we'll go from there. Alright, so I've chained my 13 and that's what that's going to look like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain an extra 1, so 14 chains, but that extra 1 is going to be the turning chain. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a half double crochet into every chain all the way back to the beginning. So for a half double crochet, it's yarn over, and we're skipping that first chain just there from the hook. We're going to go into the second one along. So that one just there, you're going to go into the top part of that V of the chain, yarn over, pull up a loop. So you've got 3 loops on your hook, Try and focus better. Yeah, that's better. Yarn over and pull through all 3 of those loops, and that's a half double crochet. So you're going to do it again into the next. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 of those loops. So we're going to do that all the way. Still having problems bumping this camera setup thing. Anyway, yarn over, yes, all the way back to the beginning of the chain. So for me, that's 13 half double crochets. However, we're going to be doing something different when we get to that 13th one. So I'll meet you at that point and we'll go from there. Okay, so here I am about to put my half double crochet into that, well, that beginning chain right there. So that'll be my 13th half double crochet. But into this chain, what I'm going to do is I'm going to half double crochet once, then half double crochet again into that same chain. So another half double crochet. And then I'm going to chain 1 and put another 2 half double crochets into that same chain just there. So 1 and 2. So you've got 4 half double crochets into that end chain with a single chain, with a chain in the middle. So 2 half double crochets, chain 1, and 2 more half double crochets. So now you'll see it's turned us to the other side of the chain, and what we're going to do is we're going to work, there'll be 12 half double crochets back to this end just here. So you'll be able to see quite easily where to put your half double crochet. It'll be beneath the next stitch along. So that one just, I hope you can see that. Yeah, again, still getting used to it. All right, so where are we? There you'll see you've got your stitch just there. So above that is where you're going to put your half double crochet. So just into that space, just like that, half double crochet. Then moving on to the next one along. So that one just there. You're going to go in above that stitch or beneath, you know. So next one along. Oh, and as you can see, I'm working that tail end in as I go along. So we're doing that. Let's go into the next one just there. So yeah, you can see what I'm doing. I won't go into it too much. So do those all the way back down to this end. So like I said, there'll be 12. Once we get to there, I'll meet back up with you and we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Okay, see you soon. All right, so here I am back down this end. Back down this end. So as you can see, we've got this peak just up the top here. Well, it doesn't really look like a peak at this point, but it will start to look like a peak the more increases you put in. So this is going to be our increase section. So what we're going to do now is we're going to, and this end's going to be the bottom of the cup. So we're going to chain up 1 and we're going to turn the work. And our first half double crochet is going to be in that stitch right there beneath that chain of 1. So right into that first stitch, 1 half double crochet. So 1, maybe I should move a bit away. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're working your half double crochets along. So you'll find that there'll be 14 half double crochets until you get up to this chain space of 1, this small chain space of 1 just here at the top. So once you get to that point, once you've put in your, well, however many half double crochets you've got, so whatever the chain length was that you did to begin with, minus the turning chain. So say you've done 15 chains and then you've got 16, so you've got 1 for the turning chain, which would be 16. So then you've done 15 chains to begin with, but the 15th chain is the turning chain at the peak, so where the increases start. So then you would have had 14 chains back down the other end. So then for this round that we're doing now, what you're going to have is 16 half double crochets. Do you see what I mean? So for me, because there were 12 on the way back down, there's 14 on the way up for this row. Well, I'm going to call it a half round because that's what I usually call it. Losing my voice. Yeah, so I'm going to have 14 till I get to that chain space of 1. So I'll meet you at that point and we'll go from there. Yeah, okay, so here I am with those 14 half double crochets and I'm at the middle at the top just now. So there's that little chain space of 1 just there. It's quite small, but that's where you're going to put 2 half double crochets into that chain space. So sort of pull it apart, you'll be able to see where to go. So there it is, just there. So you go into that chain space, yarn over, pull up loop, yarn over, half double crochet once, then again into that chain space, another half double crochet. Now you're going to chain 1 and put another 2 half double crochets into that chain space. So there we go. And that's how you increase for each half round. Where are we? So now we're going to, you'll have 14 half double crochets back down the other side. So we'll do that. We're going to, so you've got your first one starting just there. So I'll meet you down the other end and we'll talk about what to do next. All right, so here I am back down this end. So I've got my 14 half double crochets going down the other side. So you can see it's starting to look a bit more like a peak at the top just there. And as you continue to increase each half round, it's going to make it look more like a peak. All right, so now what you're going to do is you're going to chain up 1 and turn. And this time when you put in your half double crochets, up to that peak at the top, you're going to have 16 on this side. You're going to put in your increase, which is going to be 2 half double crochets, chain 1, 2 half double crochets into that chain space at the top, like you did for the previous half round. And then there'll be 16 half double crochets back down this side. So basically you're just increasing by 2 stitches each side for each half round. And you're always going to have that chain of 1 space just there in the middle at the top. So hang on. Where are we? Just there, just there. So there's that chain space of 1. So that's what you're going to do. And you will continue to do this until you've increased to a point where the cup gives you good coverage on your breast. So that's what you're doing. And once you've done, I think for me that's maybe 11 half rounds, not sure. Yeah, I think it's 11 half rounds because we're going to be saving the, yeah, okay. So for your first cup, you're going to do the coverage that you need, but sort of estimate to where you don't put in your last round or half round on the first cup. Sorry, on the first cup, I'm getting my words muddled. But what you're going to be doing is you're going to be saving that, because when you do your second cup, you're not going to tie off. You're going to be moving straight on to joining it. Yeah, you'll see once we get to it. So joining it. So you don't tie off on the second cup. Getting muddled, but it's okay. All right, so basically the edging is just going to be the next round. So you'll see what I mean when we get to it. So yeah, do the coverage you need minus 1 half round for the first cup, and then I'll meet back up with you once we've done the same amount as that for the second cup. Don't tie off, and we'll go from there, because we're going to be doing the edging and the straps. And that's basically what I was trying to say. Took a while, but we got there in the end. All right, so yes, that's what we're going to be doing. Obviously, I'll meet back up with you very shortly, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Yeah, okay, so we'll go away. We'll do that. If you'd like to see what I'm talking about, stick around for another couple of seconds, and you'll see what I mean. I'll have it all laid out here on the desk in front of me. All right, see you soon. All right, now then, let's tilt the camera down a bit. So I've completed 11 half rounds for each cup, and I've tied off on the first one, but I haven't tied off on the second one because we're going to be doing the edging starting at the second one. What I have done is I've chained up 1 and I've turned, and I've laid them both flat like this, facing in the same direction. So you'll see that, so when you chain up 1, so you would have finished here, you chain up 1 and you turn. So you see on the side that you're not crocheting into, it's more braided than when you turn it. You sort of got the back of the braid just there like that. So that's the side that you're working into, so making sure they're both turned that way. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to, so I've chained up 1 and I've turned for this just here. Sorry, I have a fierce kitten here trying to attack me through my desk chair. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to put our first half double crochet in for the half round of 12 on this second cup. And what I'm doing is, because for the dress that this will be going under, because I chained an uneven amount of stitches for each strap of that dress, what we're going to be doing for this one is I'm chaining long straps for this bikini top, but I kind of want them to fall to the other side so that you can see them on the other side of the dress, on the opposite side from where the straps for the dress tie up. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, so that's what we're doing. So I think for the dress, yeah, okay, so for the dress I did the shorter strap first. So for this one we're going to do the longer strap first. So for this I'm going to chain, but it's not going to be as long as the ones we did for the dress. So for this one I'm going to chain 300, and I hope this is going to be long enough. So you'll see how it falls together or comes together when we finish. So I've put my first half double crochet into that first stitch, and right from there I'm going to chain a length of 350. So 1, 2, 3. We'll meet back up when we've chained our length. Alright, now here I am with my extremely long chain of 350. So what we're going to do now is we're going to, skipping that first chain from the hook just there, so that one just there, we're going to slip stitch into the second chain from the hook. Try and focus a bit better. So into the second chain from the hook, just not that one, but that one just there. We're going to slip stitch into that, so that's insert your hook, yarn over, pull a loop through that, and then the last loop on the hook. So that's a slip stitch. And what you're going to do is you're going to slip stitch into every chain all the way back to the beginning. Yeah, I know this seems kind of tedious, but it does give you a little extra cushioning for the strap. And also this, I don't know, I like it when things are continuous, so this helps keep the garment continuous, and that's why we're doing it. Yeah, so that's what we're doing, all the way back to the beginning, and I will meet back up with you when you get to the beginning of this very long chain, and we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Okay, see you soon. Alright, now here I am back down the beginning of that chain. So what we're going to do now is into the same stitch, into that first stitch just there at the beginning, I'm going to put another half double crochet, and that's our first strap. So now all we're going to do is put half double crochets into every stitch till we get to the top. So when we get to the peak at the top, that chain space of 1 where we usually put our 2 half double crochets, chain 1, 2 half double crochets, we're going to meet back up and we're going to work on the next strap. So I'll see you at that point once you are up at the peak just up here. Okay, see you soon. Alright, now here I am at the top. So all we're going to do at this point is we're just going to half double crochet into that chain space of 1, then half double crochet again into the chain space of 1. And now for the next strap. So I'm only going to be chaining 120 because from memory that's a good amount. So I don't want it to be too long, I don't want it to be too short, it's going to be just right. So 120, and that's what, okay, so once we've done our 120, you're going to slip stitch, skipping that first chain from the hook, you're going to slip stitch back down the chain of 120 till you get back to this point. So I'll meet you back down here after you've done that. So following the same process as the one you've already done. I'll meet you at that point and we will work on, okay, no, I'll meet you when you get back to the beginning of the chain. Okay, see you soon. Alright, now here I am back at the beginning of that chain of 120. So now all I'm going to do is put 2 more half double crochets into that chain space of 1. There we go, just to finish up that peak with the strap. Then we're going to put in the rest of our half double crochets of this half round on this second cut. So I'll meet you when you get to this end. So I think I've got 34 half double crochets till I get to the bottom just here. But once you get here, well, once we get to this point, we're going to be joining to the next cup. So I'll meet you down here and we'll do it together. Okay, see you soon. Alright, now that I've put all those half double crochets down this side, so I finished that half round, so that cup's sort of almost complete. What we're going to do now is, I'm just going to put this down, leaving my hook in that stitch. I'm just going to put it down, tilt the camera down again, probably leave it like this for this bit. So now all we do is making sure the cup on the left hand side is facing the right way. What we're going to do is, let's just put that down like that. We're going to, with this cup, or with this, from the last stitch you did on this cup, you're just going to yarn over, I hope you can see this, yarn over, then sort of push that thread or push the yarn to the side just like that. Then picking up this cup, finding the first stitch along that you would normally be going into if you were just, you know, continuing along on the cup. So you're going into that first stitch, then you're going to pick up the yarn over, pull through a loop and sort of make sure that's pulled tight, so you don't want too much of a gap just there when you're joining it with this stitch. And then you're going to yarn over, pull through all 3 of those loops, and you're just half double crocheting the cups together. Make sure you don't get that twisted though, because it could turn out weird. Alright, so now all you're going to do is half double crochet till you get to the top, where you're going to be forming the other neck straps. So it's going to be your half double crochet twice into that chain space of 1, chaining 120, slip stitch back down that chain, half double crochet twice again into that chain space of 1. Then you'll be putting your half double crochets back down this side. But when you get to the last stitch, you're going to be forming the other strap. So I'll meet back up with you at that point and we'll sort of go through it briefly together. But I mean, I think you know what we'll be needing to do. But yes, like I said, I want this stitch to fall to the side. So because I did 350 for this first side strap, I'll only be doing 300 for the other one, because that minus of 50 stitches just helps it fall to the side. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Alright, so I will meet you down at that point. I don't think we need to sort of meet back up till we get there. I'm going to adjust my camera though. Move this bowl of water aside. Alright, so I'll see you soon for the second side strap. Alright, now here I am down the side of that second cup. So I put all my half double crochets in, and I'm just about to put in the last one and do this other strap. So we're just going to go into that last stitch just there at the end. I'm going to put 1 half double crochet into that stitch, and now, like I said, I'm going to chain 300. Was it 300? Yes, I'm going to be chaining 300 and slip stitching back down that chain. Alright, now here I am with that chain of 300 and slip stitches back down to the beginning of that chain of 300. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to put another half double crochet into that same stitch right there at the end. And that finishes all the half rounds and straps. So now what we're going to do is we're going to move on to the edging at the bottom. So all we need to do that is just turn to the bottom of the cup just here, the first one. Be careful not to get these cups, these twisted where that join is in the middle with that half double crochet. Just keep it as untwisted as you possibly can. Alright, so we've turned to the bottom of this cup just here. And all we're going to be doing is working half double crochets into each half double crochet row end. So you can see we've already got one here which is going to act as that turning stitch. So that second half double crochet into the last stitch just there. So we'll just say that's like for round 12, half round 12. So we're just going into this one here, this next row end along with a half double crochet. Then moving on to the next row end along, which is just here. I'm going to put a half double crochet into that, and so on. So what you'll find is, including the second stitch or the second half double crochet into that last stitch, there should be 24 half double crochets along the bottom of each cup. So we'll go away. I'll meet back up with you, because yeah, I'll meet back up with you at this stage and we'll do it together. So in the middle just there. So there should be 24 half double crochets along the bottom just here. And yes, I'll meet you in the middle. Okay, see you soon. Alright, so here I am, and I've got 24 half double crochets across the bottom of that first cup just there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to making sure these aren't twisted, once again, I can't stress that enough. Okay, so you're just going to put a half double crochet between the cups. So just around that join, just like that, half double crochet. And then moving straight into the first row end just here. So I've got one, and then the next row end just there. So that will be 2. And I'm just working this in as I go along. So we've got next row end just there, and that will be 3. Still haven't learned how to button the camera yet. 4. So yeah, there'll be 24 across this one. So I'll meet back up with you here. We'll close up the round. Yeah, it's going to be an entire round at this point. We'll close up the round together. And at that point, we'll be finished. And then we can go away. We can try on our bikini tops. We can see how they look. They are, I've actually tried it on. It looks really good. So I'm really happy with it. So yeah, I'll see you at the end here. And we'll do what we have to do. All right, see you soon. Alright, so here I am, and I'm at the end of the round, so it's all done. All we need to do now is slip stitch to close that up. So, because we've gone into that last row end just there, we've actually gone around the chain of 1 that we would usually slip stitch into. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to slip stitch into the top of that first stitch just there. And that's how we're going to be closing the round. So how am I going to go in? I think I'll just go into it like this. So we'll see here, there's that first stitch just there, and I'm going to go into it just like this, beneath both parts of that V just there, like that. I'm going to yarn over, pull through, and then pull through that last stitch like this. Then I'm going to chain 1. I'm going to find my scissors. Where did I put them? Oh, there they are. I'm going to find my scissors, and I'm going to cut my yarn to weave in later. Alright, there we go. Now all you need to do is pull that stitch through, just like this. Pull it through, pull tight, and you're done. You're finished. So yeah, that's everything. So we're done. That's it. That's all we need to do. Now all we need to do is try them on. So I'll see you for that. Yeah, and also this I've actually tried it on with the dress as well. It looks really good underneath that dress. I'm very, very happy with it. Alright, see you soon for when we try it on. Alrighty, here is finished top. So yeah, not a lot that I really need to say about it. It's just super quick and basic. Not a lot to it. So yeah, it's really good. I really love it. I love the way it looks. I'm really happy with it. Yeah, so like I said, this is going under the dress that I've made, which was going to be this week's tutorial, but I just thought I'll make this one instead, just so you get a chance to make that. And you'll see why next week when I post the dress. It's going to make sense then. So yes, I hope you like this. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.